All right, joining me now, former Marlins team president and current host of the Nothing Personal podcast on CBS Sports, David Samson. David, thank you so much for your time today. And really, first question is just, what was your reaction when you saw the Nolan Arenado deal come down? What was your initial thought there?
That it was just a matter of time. Once Nolan made it very clear to the Rockies organization that he was not happy, he was very likely using his opt-out as a sword, saying that if you don't trade me, I'm just going to disappear after the 2021 season. So you might as well get something for me, because look what happened in 2020. The team didn't do well. I didn't do well. And you owe me a lot of money. And you certainly hope I don't get hurt, because then I won't opt out and I'll be a crushing factor in your payroll for years to come. He forced his way out, and the Rockies had no choice, and they actually made a really good deal, believe it or not. I hate to say that to your fan base, but it really is a good deal.
A really good deal? I don't think I've seen anyone anywhere making that point. Explain to me why this is a good deal.
So 2 years ago, when your team, the Rockies, signed Arenado to the extension, let's remind everyone what was happening. They had made the playoffs. There was a thought that they could compete with the Dodgers in the NL West. It was their moment, right? And then all of a sudden, the moment ended. And the San Diego Padres have replaced them as the second best team in the West. So there is no path right now for the Rockies to make the playoffs. If you are going to run a good team, you have to be honest with yourself about when your window is open and when your window is closed. Right now, the Rockies' window is closed. When you have a closed window, the key then, when you're a good president or GM, is to shorten the amount of time the window's closed and get ready to pounce once the window opens again. And you've watched the Padres do it this offseason by bringing in Darvish, by bringing in Blake Snell, by signing Machado, combining with a young, really good player in Tatis, still having a really good farm system. Their window is now. So when your window's closed, you have to get rid of all long-term liabilities. And that's what Nolan Arenado was. Best player I've seen defensively at third, an absolute Hall of Fame player, no question. But you're not going to win with just him. Therefore, you got to find a way to get rid of his contract, and they did.
I understand getting rid of long-term liabilities, but you're not even getting any of the top 5 prospects in the Cardinals organization back for a guy who's a no doubt Hall of Famer, maybe best at his position ever, and you're sending $50 million with him to St. Louis. Does this even make business sense? Is this setting them up to be good at some point, or is this just plain and simple a salary dump?
Well, they saved $150 million. So yes, they did send 50, but they saved $150 million going forward that they can reallocate into their farm system. They can reallocate into signing bonuses. They can reallocate on the major league side when it's time for them to sign a new crop of free agents. Running a team for 18 years taught me one very important thing. Don't ever believe that you have to have a guy, because there's always another guy. And as painful as that is for people in Denver, for as painful as that is for you to believe that your ownership and your front office doesn't care about you and doesn't care about winning right now, know that they do want to win, but they've got to be smarter than you, because they're not fans. They're not in the media. They're actually running the team. And when you're actually running the team, you have to ignore the noise of what people are saying about you. You have to delete your Twitter account, and you have to run your team in the best way possible to win when it's your time to win.
Okay, so you think this is a good deal. You also said on Twitter that you feel for the Rockies because you inflicted this sort of pain on Marlins fans at one point. What's going on with Rockies management today? What are they going through with all this backlash?
So if you're as smart as I am, you can tell people that you ignored all media after you traded away Miguel Cabrera or traded away Jose Reyes or Mark Burley and all the different people I've traded away over the years. You can pretend you don't read any of it. You can pretend you climb into a hole and ignore all media. Don't watch your newscast. Don't go on any social media. Or you can tell the truth, which is you read it, you hear it, you feel terribly about it, but you also know that you had no choice. The Rockies had no choice but to move Arenado. It was a divorce. Divorces happen. When he signed with the Rockies, just like when people get married, you don't get married thinking you're going to get divorced. He didn't sign with the Rockies thinking that the future with the Rockies would not include competing with the Dodgers year in and year out. He didn't sign with the Rockies thinking that there would be a window of winning that would close so quickly after signing. But once it did, he said, I want a new love of my life. Trade me anywhere. And the Cardinals took him.
Do you think the Rockies are a well-run organization?
I think that the Rockies have some issues. One of the issues the Rockies have is that, and I want to make sure this comes out properly, you can't care as much about what people think about you and run a good organization. This trade, believe it or not, is the beginning of me thinking they are running a better organization than they have in the past. They have made moves over the years that have been done because of pressure to make the moves from outside forces, from fans thinking that they need to do certain things, from media people pressuring them, from their egos being bruised and their desire to chase a ring because they don't have one yet. And when you chase it that way, and when you listen to people who are not in your own business, you tend to make more mistakes. I'd like to believe that this Nolan Arenado trade is the beginning of better times for the Rockies, not worse.